In this week's adventure, we headed down to Southern California, camped on the beach here at Silver Strand State Park. Let's go check out the adventure. Alright, beginning of another adventure. Get the tanks full. Everything's hooked up. I just filled the propane. The tires are in good shape. New tires. We're gonna head out to the coast. So it's always challenging. And I was worried about salt air, the grime, if you will, of the coast. But as we begin our adventure, we left Arizona here. Very nice weather. And headed for the coast. We're a little worried about the salt air, and you'll see at the end. I ended up having to wash my rig pretty good of all the salt. Sand dunes as far as you can see.
I can see the wall.
Cabrillo Beach. What does that say, Daniel? Silver Strand State Beach. There it is. Not quite on the beach, but pretty close. This campground's pretty awesome. You're right at the beach. Get a constant ocean breeze, a blast. I'll share with you what the bathrooms and the power situation looks like at the end of this video, in case you're thinking about coming out here. But you have this beach to yourself. To the north is the Navy base, and to the south, not much else going on either. So, pretty nice place to camp for a few days. Camp. One of the great things about this campground is you're on Coronado Island, which gives you access to the town. After checking the beach out, we ended up heading into town, Coronado Island, for dinner at Chipotle next to Hotel del Coronado. Pretty awesome hotel, huge. After eating dinner, there was still enough daylight to head down to the beach. We checked out the large homes along the shoreline, but the beach down here has an awesome dog park that we ended up watching the dogs play at. Look at that dog go. Didn't you see the dog? Where? Right in the water. Look at him go. He's chasing those birds. Here he comes back. Here he comes. Here comes the dog. It's the dog beach. As we started to leave, there was a helicopter that ended up coming up the shoreline. the sun started going down, we decided to head back to camp about 10 minutes away to catch the sunset over the ocean. It was fun to watch the birds play along the shoreline, but as soon as that sun went down, it got dark and chilly. We ended up hanging around camp a little bit before calling it a night. You get yourself a corrosion study done. Camp here long enough. Saturday morning. Kind of a last minute thing, we ended up heading over to Point Loma to check it out for the first time. Cabrillo National Monument. Point Loma is actually part of the national park system, so typical fees for the national park apply here. This place turned out to be awesome. Up on the sea cliffs, so many great views, old World War II batteries, visitor center, and even tidal pools. Go in the battery. Old lighthouse. We had a blast exploring the lighthouse and seeing that the glass they used to shine the light out there and climbing up into the lighthouse. You gonna climb? Squeeze. There's the light. After exploring and climbing inside that lighthouse, we ended up taking in the views along the cliffs. Waves, yep. Cabrillo statue. We were watching the channel into the harbor. We ended up spotting an old relic or ship sailing out to sea. Pretty cool to see. We read a sign that the low tide was occurring at 1:30, so we decided to head down to the ocean to check out the tide pools and see what creatures we could see. We arrived here around 1 o'clock. It was pretty cool to see the tide heading out and all these tidal pools starting to form along the shoreline. There were some pretty awesome trails along the cliffs. Lots of wildlife, including these pelicans and even the seagull.
I'm gonna wait for him to come out. Oh, there he goes.
After the tidal pools, we spent a short period of time back at camp before going into town to get dinner. There's lots of places to eat on the island of Coronado. We even checked out Hotel Coronado here, second largest wooden structure in the United States. Pretty awesome place just to explore in the evenings. Hotel Coronado is huge. Beautiful beach club here. We ended up hanging out there for a while before dark and then headed back to camp for one last night. As you can see, we had a great time on Coronado Island camping. The campground itself is great. It's got power, as you can see there, 30 and 50 amps. Bathroom that closes at 7 o'clock at the beach here. The lifeguards come in and close. And if you want to dump your tanks, there actually is a dump station here. You have to pay for it, though, as you will see. But great campground overall. Great time on Coronado Island for the weekend. And looking forward to our next adventure. One last time on the beach. Time to head home. When you see the sand dunes, you know you're very close to the Arizona state line and close to home. After getting the rig home, I ended up cleaning it at a car wash to get all that salt grime off the rig. Had a great time out here at Coronado Island in San Diego. Highly recommend this campground and just exploring this area if you get the chance. Great memories. Appreciate you watching the channel. If you like backpacking, RVing, camping, wildlife photography, just adventuring, please consider liking and subscribing. Until our next adventure, thanks for being here.